Hey guys, Sweet here with a new CSR2 video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the 10th anniversary events for CSR2, Decade of Speed Ambush, and Decade of Speed Interception. So without further ado, let's dive right into the events. Now, starting with Decade of Speed Ambush, the prize card is the McLaren Senna Launch Edition, one of the upcoming lock-ins for Decade of Speed Interception. So if you want to take part in the main event, you have to get through this if you don't already have the Senna. So the lock-ins are as follows. The Lamborghini Aventador SV Coupe, which is a very old and slow car, so don't get your hopes up for the Aventador SV Coupe. It's just not a good car, so upgrade enough to beat the event and leave it alone after that. The next lock-in is the Aston Martin Valiant. The Valiant is a 1-to-1 copy of the Aston Martin Velour, so this is a good live racer when the event ends. You will have a good live racer on hand, but just keep in mind that this car needle drops when you launch it perfectly. So this will be a hurdle you have to get over, so keep that in mind for the Valiant. And the final lock-in is the Lamborghini Centenario Roadster. This car will be given for free, if I'm not mistaken, when the event starts. So you can have this car for free and you won't have to pay a thing for it. I'm not sure about the Valiant, it could be a paid car, but when it comes to the Centenario Roadster, you will get it for free. And I will note that this car is a dyno beater if you tune it right, so that's a car to look forward to if you're into cars that can beat dyno. So with Decade of Speed Ambush out of the way, let's focus on the main event, Decade of Speed Interception. This is a 5 lock-in event and all the cars are Purple Star cars, so presumably they could all be paid cars if I'm not mistaken. And starting things off, you have either the McLaren Senna or the McLaren Senna Launch Edition. The Sennas just aren't very good cars, so upgrade them fast enough to beat the event and don't touch them after that because they don't serve any purpose in live races, so they are just meant for events, and events are all they'll be for. And moving on, we have the Koenigsegg CC850. The CC850 happens to be a very solid live racer if you can get stage 6 transmission for this guy. This car is also acquirable in collections, so you can pay car credits to get this car outright instead of paying to get the car, which presumably it will be a paid event. So the CC850 is a car you can look forward to. And moving on, we have the Pagani Imola. Now, I have seen people pull off some good live race tunes with the Pagani Imola. I haven't upgraded mine personally, but from what I've seen, this seems to be a solid live racer. So you can keep your hopes up for the Imola. Next up, the Zenvo Aurora Agile. Now, when it comes to the Aurora Agile, I believe this is based on the existing Aurora Tour, and that car turned out to be a good live racer. So if this follows in its footsteps, the Aurora Agile could also be a good live racer, but that's just a theory I have, and not one that I can prove because I never upgraded my Aurora Agile. And finally, the last lock-in is the Bugatti Tourbillon Show Car 2026. Now, I'm unsure if this car is a good live racer, but if we look at recent Bugattis like the Mistral, the Hypercar Crucible La Voiture Noire, those turn out to be great live racers. So as a result, I will say the Tourbillon Show Car has potential to be a good live racer, but again, don't take my words as gospel, this is just a theory. So all in all, that wraps up Decade of Speed Ambush and Decade of Speed Interception. What are my thoughts on the event? Well, to be blunt with you guys, I'm a bit disappointed. And the reason why I say so is because the prize cars for both events are old, recycled prize cars. Why I say this is because for the McLaren Senna Launch Edition, if I'm not wrong, this used to be a paid car, I could be wrong here. And then it was available in the race pass, the paid race pass, as a prize. And now they're making you upgrade a slow Lamborghini, a copy of the Aston Martin Velour, and a not very good Lamborghini Purple Star, the Centenario Roadster, in order to get it. But that's just one part of the puzzle, which makes me disappointed. The real disappointment comes in Decade of Speed Interception. Because all this is for the LaFerrari Aperta 70th anniversary. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this car was given for free many years ago. and now they're making it the prize car after upgrading 5 Tier 5 cars. To me, it's just not very worth it because both the Senna Launch Edition and the 70th Anniversary LaFerrari Aperta are not good life racers. All they do is just go fast. So that's the end of it. They just go fast and they don't serve any purpose in life races. So what's the point of getting those cars? Especially for the LaFerrari Aperta, because if you took part in Rosso Maranello when it was around, you could have easily acquired the Gold Star LaFerrari Aperta. So that car and this one don't differ much besides the 70th anniversary running a bit quicker. So there's not really a point to getting the LaFerrari Aperta 70th anniversary if you're looking for a car in a practical sense that's good in life races. And again, the same thing applies to the McLaren Senna Launch Edition in Decade of Speed Ambush. That car just isn't a good life racer. So, all things said, I'm really disappointed. For a 10th anniversary event, I had expected more. For CSR2's, if I'm not wrong, the 7th and 8th anniversaries, they gave great cars, being the Mustang Dark Horse, and to a lesser extent, the Label Motorsports Corvette Stingray. Both cars have potential in life, unlike these two. And I was already disappointed with the 9th anniversary event last year when they gave a Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat as a prize car, which was a Tier 3 and was useless. Sure, the Senna Launch Edition and the LaFerrari Aperta 70th anniversary are Tier 5 cars and serve more purpose, but at the end of the day, these just aren't good life racers. So if you are on the fence of doing this event and not doing it, I would advise giving it a skip, because at the end of the day, these cars just aren't good life racers. And furthermore, we don't know how you're going to be acquiring the other lock-ins, such as the Valiant, the Tourbillon show car, and the Aurora Agile, and so on. If those cars turn out to be in bundles, basically this is a pay-to-play event. So being a pay-to-play event, free players are locked out of it. And if you're even a paid player, you're going to have to struggle a lot, especially with the Aurora Agile, because Zenvos are a very rare car to get. And as a result, I will say you might want to give this event a skip, especially because there is also a Prestige Cup coming up next month with a Zenvo as a Prestige Cup car. So your resources will be either forced to do this or that Prestige Cup, which is going to be a toss-up, and it's up to you. For me personally, I will say this event is more important than the Prestige Cup, but then again, the prize you're getting is just a old car for both of them. So that wraps up my thoughts for Decade of Speed Ambush and Decade of Speed Interception. To round things up, I'm really disappointed that Natural Motion is giving old cars that have been prizes in the past for free for participating in this event and potentially being a paid event. I'm really disappointed. If this video has been helpful to you, do consider leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing to my channel, because all of these things really help me out. With that all said and done, thank you so much for watching. Take very good care of yourselves, and I will see you in my next video.